Awesome. Well, as it is 6 o'clock, we will go ahead and get started as people join us. Welcome. My name is Alexa Salvador. I'm a senior admission counselor here at Gonzaga University, and very excited that you are joining me and my campus partners here today to learn about how to find community at Gonzaga University. Over 80% of our students at Gonzaga are coming from over 200 miles away. So it really is a priority for us that you are getting the support and resources you need to build a second home. Throughout the time, we will be giving out some ZAG swag and some prizes. So definitely stick around till the end for your chance to win some prizes. I'm joined by several colleagues throughout the university that will be introducing themselves throughout the night, but I am joined by two of my colleagues in the Office of Admission who will be moderating that Q&A and that chat. I would allow them, or not allow them, I'm going to ask them to turn on their cameras and introduce themselves. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first. I beat you, Eli. Hello, y'all. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. My name is Priya, and I'm an admission counselor here at Gonzaga. I work with students from San Diego, Nevada, Alaska, as well as the Northeast coast. So again, thank you so much for joining us. And like Alexa said, Eli and I will be moderating the chat and also the Q&A. So if y'all have any questions, we'll make sure to get that answered in there.
My name is Eli Jenkins. I'm also an admission counselor. I'm doing all the same things Priya's doing, so I won't go over those again. My main territories include Montana, Colorado, some areas in central Washington, as well as other Midwestern states. Really excited to be here tonight. Actually, it looks like I see a few familiar names in the group right now, so very excited to have you, and don't be afraid to ask those questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eli and Priya. We're going to go ahead and get tonight started with our new student and family programs.
All right. Thank you so much, Alexa. My name is Nicola Manater, and I'm the Director for New Student and Family Programs here at Gonzaga. So excited. I'm sorry, let me get my video started here. All right, hopefully you can all see me now. Like I said, my name's Nicola. I'm the Director for New Student and Family Programs here at Gonzaga. And Alexa, if you can hit my next slide for me. So what do we do in New Student and Family Programs? Really, we're split up into focusing on two different audiences. On the left there, you'll see some of the work we do for our new students. So we oversee new student orientation. So we'll be one of the first offices that you hear from when you decide to come to Gonzaga to get you all set for orientation in your first few days on campus. We also host a How to Zag series. So our motto is orientation is a process, it's not an event. So we want to make sure that you're getting oriented to the Gonzaga community before you get here, when you get to Spokane, and even after you arrive, so into fall semester. You'll get a lot of newsletters and webinars from our office. So things about, getting ready for orientation, what you need to know before you arrive, courses that you need to complete before you arrive, and just great information to know as you get ready for move-in. We also have a lot of student leadership positions. So our orientation programs are run primarily by students, and we love having students be the face of our program. It's a great leadership opportunity for folks. Our other population is our parents and families. So we run a separate orientation program for parents and families. So for those of you, when you do come to orientation, we encourage you to bring family members, and they have their own orientation to go through. We also have a program called Fall Family Weekend. This usually happens in the first weekend of October. It's about a two to three day event where there's all kinds of different activities going on all around campus to really give students the opportunity to show off their new home to their families. A lot of social events, academic events, things on and off campus to show off Spokane as well. We also do a lot of publications in e-newsletters and webinars for our families to make sure that you have the information you need to support your students. Next slide. So just a few highlights about orientation. This coming August, orientation will be August 26th through 29th. So that's Friday through Monday. Of course, everybody will move into their residence hall on the first day. That's kind of the big event that day. We'll have a variety of different get to know you activities, some social activities, icebreakers, just ways so you can help build your community here at Gonzaga. You'll have a small group that you meet with several times throughout that long weekend, so you can get to know some folks on a little bit smaller, more intimate level. And then there'll be a lot of sessions giving you information about resources, what you should know about transitioning into our Jesuit University, and just ways to be successful during your first year and beyond. One of our favorite events is Welcome Night, which happens in the kennel. It's a really upbeat and exciting event. I won't tell you too much about it. You'll just have to experience it for yourself. And then on our final day of orientation, we have our academic convocation, where you'll meet our provost and our faculty, and you'll have meetings with your advisor. Next slide. So we also have some pre-orientation programs. This year, we're going to be offering 4 pre-orientation programs. The first one is GOO, which stands for Gonzaga Out of Bounds. And I think my colleagues in GU Outdoors are going to talk more about that. But it's basically a pre-orientation program focused on leadership in the outdoors. It's very popular with our new students. Usually about 75 students can participate. Bridge is our Social Justice and Leadership Institute, and it's really intended for folks who identify as first gen, students of color, students who identify as LGBTQ. So it's a really good place for folks to learn about leadership and find community. Embark is our third longer pre-orientation program that's run by our mission and ministry program. And those folks generally go out and they stay off campus for a few days. They learn about social justice. They talk about spirituality, a lot of social and bonding opportunities there as well. And then we're also offering one of our newer programs. It's called Serve Northeast. It's a one-day pre-orientation program where folks go out into our Spokane community and learn about what it means to be in this community and to serve our community. And so mark your calendars. Registrations will open for pre-orientation on Saturday, May 21st. I think that's it for me, Alexa.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to hand it over to a current student, Nate from TV RAS, or Transfer Veteran and Returning Adult Services.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nate. I am like I said, I am a current student. I'm a senior this year. And I'm the work study for the Transfer Veteran and Returning Adult Services Office. A lot of times you'll also hear us refer to the population as Transfer Veteran and Returning Adult Students, but it's technically services. But anyways, so really we're what a lot of universities would call the non-traditional students. So that's anybody who just didn't go to a four-year college directly out of high school. Maybe you took time off work or took time off school to get work experience, or you're in the military, or whatever reason you went to a community college before coming to Gonzaga. You fit into our umbrella. So you can go to the next slide there. Thank you. Really, TVRS centers around our office in the Hemmingson building, Hemmingson 211. It's a pretty small space, and we've made it a point to let the office just be for the students and just kind of become what they make of it. So we have some amenities there, like lockers that students can use to keep, whatever they need, extra books, keep gym clothes in mind, whatever stuff they might need on campus that they, a lot of our students live off campus and then commute. So just whatever's convenient. And then we also offer a lot of programming and events throughout the semester. So sometimes it's social events at night. We'll meet up at a restaurant or go to a movie theater. And other times it's more academic things. We have presentations, come to luncheons at least once a month from different other campus offices, which you'll probably talk to tonight. And we really just consider ourselves to be the starting point for students looking for help in need of any other resources. We don't always have the answers for people, or we're not able to help, but we always know who can. That's kind of something we really make a point of, like, if you don't know where else to go, come to us and we'll figure it out. So that's kind of how we built a community, is just naturally letting the students decide what they want it to be and what they need and what they need help with. So that's really all I have, but thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Before we hand it over to our colleagues in student involvement and leadership, we are up for our first raffle, and I think Eli's taken this one for us.
Absolutely. So exciting times to be a ZAG or prospective ZAG. So we have a few different prizes that you can pick from. We have a pop socket, a mini pennant, and also a pair of ZAG socks. So the first winner is Paige Enger. I apologize if I am pronouncing that incorrectly. Paige Enger, if you're here. And the second prize winner, Luke Lennox. So feel free to shoot us a message in the chat. You can just send it to me or Priya directly, and then we'll get that information down and be sure to get that mailed out to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eli, and congratulations to our first winners. We're now going to hand it over to Dave Gilbert in Student Involvement and Leadership.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Alexa. Yeah, my name is Dave Gilbert. I'm the director for the Center for Student Involvement. I am proud to say I've been coming to Gonzaga most days for almost 20 years now. So it's really, really fun to talk to and welcome a new group of students that are interested in coming and joining the community. Alexa, you can go to the next slide if you want. The Center for Student Involvement, whether it's getting involved with programs that our office provides or any of these other great programs that the other colleagues here provide, we know that students who find a community and get involved on campus have a better time in college, and that's across a lot of different dimensions. So some of them are highlighted here. They tend to have better GPAs. They tend to have more friends and closer friends. They tend to report a better sense of belonging. They get some leadership skills and some real world experience where they get to take some of those things they're learning in their classroom and apply them to the things in the program or in their club or whatever they might be doing. They actually are more likely to graduate on time if they're involved on campus. They tend to stay more involved as alumni, which we really like as a university and tends to help graduates feel more connected after they leave. And just overall, they have a better college experience. You can go to the next slide. Yeah, thanks. So in our specific Center for Student Involvement, we oversee a pretty wide umbrella of programs. A big chunk of it is the various student-run clubs and organizations that we have on campus. So we have about 140, and they range widely from activities and interests, so things like maybe hunting or cooking. We have academic honor societies, so things that are really tied to what you're studying, professional clubs about what you may want to go and do after you graduate, club sports, community volunteer activism type clubs, all kinds of things that are available for students to get involved with. And those students or those clubs are started and run by students. And so if there isn't a club that you really think there should be that you want to have started that you're passionate about, there is an opportunity for you to come and start that club. So we have new clubs that come every year and get started. So that's a really, really exciting opportunity. Most students are involved in a couple of clubs on average. And oftentimes, especially later in their college career, that may look like maybe being in the leadership of a club and then being a participant in another club. So they have one higher commitment role and then one where they're more of a participant. Gonzaga is famous for our athletics and specifically our two basketball programs. The Kennel Club is the student booster organization that's on campus. It's the fan club, and it's the name of the fan section. And they are the largest club on campus. They're really, really active. They're fun to be involved with. And that's predominantly, well, it's really student run with an advisor. Also underneath student involvement is the Gonzaga Student Body Association. So the president, vice president, treasurer, senators, all of those folks that help Gonzaga run well, speak to the need for change from a student perspective on campus, are also active and try to help the university move forward. So that GSBA part of student involvement is also there. And then we have a Spike Nights program. So we run activities for students on campus, mostly on campus or near campus, every Friday and Saturday evening. And so that also runs a really wide range of things, from movie nights to activities where you're maybe cooking or potting plants or painting, to other things you might fit in, different shows and things like that. So we have all kinds of stuff going sort of all the time. And again, whether it's one of our programs that you're interested in getting involved with, or anyone else's, any of these other colleagues that run all these other great things, similar to TV Raz, we love to be that opening for you. So you're welcome to come in and ask about any of the programs on campus. And if it's something that we do, we'll get you connected to it. And if it's something that someone else does, we'll get you connected to that too, and send an email or walk you over there. And we just really love having people get connected to stuff they love.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we're now going to hand it over to our diversity, inclusion, community, and equity team.
Hi, everyone, and thanks, Alexa. My name is Margie DeCordy. I'm the office assistant over in DICE. Next slide. So DICE stands for Diversity, Inclusion, Community, and Equity. And we work to provide a safe space and support system for historically underrepresented and traditionally marginalized students. So those are students who are first gen, LGBTQ, students of color, undocumented, low income, and those are like our main support systems. We do, however, outreach and educate all students. So that's one important note. And we help identify, help promote their social identity development, cultural fluency, and connection to social justice. Next slide, please. So DICE oversees two different offices, the Unity Multicultural Education Center, which is UMAC, and then the Gonzaga LGBTQ+ Resource Center. And we basically work off three different pillars. So mentoring is the first one. Bridge, which Nicola mentioned earlier, is our pre-orientation and year-long mentoring program. So students will register for it throughout the summer, and then they get an opportunity to meet with mentors and build, they get connected with upper class mentors, and then they have like a week-long pre-orientation, I guess, week where they get to do like community building, identity development, go to different resources on campus and kind of learn a little bit about campus before they actually start classes. And then there is Act 6, which is a scholarship program for students from the west side of the state, and 4 students from the Spokane area are selected for the scholarship. And then we help mentor and advise them for the 4 years that they're here at GU. So that's the mentoring program. And then we have social justice programming. And so that's basically where we bring in speakers, writers, spoken word artists. We can talk about a variety of different social justice topics. And then, so there's things that we're doing practically on a weekly basis. And then our big thing is diversity monologues. And that takes place in spring semester, usually in March. And that is where we, students have to submit monologues, and then they get to perform it. So it's basically kind of like a spoken word piece. And then they'll work with faculty, typically in the communication studies, to kind of help develop their piece. And then they perform it in front of a pretty large audience. I think one of the last ones that we had in person, I think it was like maybe 400 or 500 people were attending. So it's a big deal for our office. And then last, intercultural development. So that's where we kind of help people become better communicators. And we do that with a couple different, through a couple different ways: sustained dialogue, and then we've got intergroup dialogue. So those are our dialogue programs. We do workshops and trainings. And then we have social justice peer educators, and they are students who live in the different residential blocks, and they get to do programming based on different social justice topics. And so UMAC and Lincoln do all 3 of these pillars, or not in different ways, but yeah. Next slide. So DICE also is connected to the Unity Alliance of Cultural Clubs. So basically the list here: Asian American Union, Black Student Union, and the rest of them are basically the main ones. If you see something here that you like, a club that you would want to create, there's always that option. They do a lot of team building, community building. It's a great way to meet people and get connected. And then in the springtime, they have a bunch of like fun festivals and dinners that they work like all year on to coordinate. And then we also do a lot of hiring. So bridge coordinators and mentors, we usually hire about 16 a year. For office staff in our actual offices, we hire roughly about 10 students. Social justice peer educators, it's 6 of those positions, and then 4 graduate interns. So another way to make great connections and find community and succeed is to work on campus, and we hire students every year. Next slide. Oh, never mind, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And it
Thanks.
is time for our next raffle. So I'm going to hand it
Yes,
over to
it
one of my
is.
colleagues. Priya is up. Yeah, next raffle. Let's
Yes.
go.
Woo,
Winners.
woo. All righty, y'all. So the next winner is Hiwa Gibo. I believe, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Hiwa Gibo. And then Matthew Fiscal. And then again, the prizes are a pop socket or a mini pennant or socks. And so if you are here, just make sure to comment in the chat which prize you'd like.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And now it's up time for GU Outdoors.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Matt Edenfield. I manage the outdoor education and recreation program called Gonzaga Outdoors. So we're extremely fortunate and privileged to have access to a ton of different outdoor venues, both locally and regionally. So within Spokane, we have the two largest state parks in Washington. We have the Spokane River that runs literally next to campus, and from less than an hour to 3 hours from campus, we have about 7 different ski areas. And then kind of the, yeah, perfect, that's a great slide. The core of G Outdoors is our trips programs and our trip leader development program. And so we average about 100 different trips, clinics, classes, and events every year. So that averages out to us leading multiple trips every week. They can range from a day hike to a weekend backpacking trip, all the way up to a week-long spring break where we might go to Moab, Utah, or the Olympic Peninsula, or up to Banff up in Canada. And so we host a huge catalog of trips ranging from activities like canoeing, kayaking, whitewater rafting, rock climbing, biking, skiing, kind of the whole works, fly fishing. If there's something that you like to do outside, there's a pretty strong chance that we run activities on that. And so the structure of G Outdoors is that folks don't need to have prior outdoor experience. We try and have a lot of different trips and programs to meet people's needs as well as what their interests are. If you have a lot of experience, we'll have more technically focused trips. And then for folks who don't have any, we'll have a lot of introductory programs. And so with us running that sheer amount of programs, we have about 30 different student trip leaders that are hired and trained, and they're trained on skills like environmental stewardship, leadership development, and outdoor skills. So we have student leaders that are leading their peers on these trips. And that's something that we open applications for in the spring. And yeah, great. Next slide. And then we also have a pretty extensive equipment rental program. And so that if students don't have their own outdoor equipment, they can rent it from us for a pretty minimal charge. And that also allows folks, if they want to plan their own trip, we can help them figure out where to go and what to bring and things to think about from a safety or risk management perspective. Gonzaga Outdoors also has a bike and a ski shop where folks can rent bikes and snowboards. And if they have their own equipment, they can get repairs done or parts replaced and things like that. So that's another opportunity. Next, please. And then as Nicola was mentioning, Gonzaga Outdoors offers a pre-orientation program. So that happens before the normal orientation. It's called Gonzaga Outdoors Out of Bounds, or more commonly called GOOB. So what that looks like is a group of 75 first-year students and about 30 trip leaders and some professional staff and faculty. We go over to Montana, about 3 hours from here, just west of Missoula along the Clark Fork River. And first-year students are broken up into 3 groups. And so each day they rotate between a different activity. One day you'll go hiking, another day you'll go whitewater rafting, and then biking. And so then when you're done with the day's activities, we'll all come back into this big, huge group, and there's lots of evening activities, and we'll have faculty come. And it's a really amazing opportunity for first-year students to make connections, whether that be with other first-year students or the senior trip leaders and staff and faculty as well. Like we said, it's a really popular program. So if that's something that you're interested in, it'll be really a good idea to think about when those registration dates open and being on time for that. Great, next. Another key component to the Gonzaga Outdoors is we have a whole catalog of different classes and courses for academic credit. Some of them are partnership classes with whether it be the environmental studies or biology or leadership, that have outdoor components, and we help facilitate those. And then we also offer summer field courses where students can get 3 to 6 credits or 1 or 2 courses, and we'll actually go into the field for upwards of 3 weeks at a time. So that might look like going to the Pacific Northwest and backpacking in the North Cascades and sea kayaking in the San Juans, where the courses could be about environmental history or creative nature writing or marine biology. So there's a ton of integrative, interdisciplinary learning that happens in place. And again, one of these major themes is that you don't have to have outdoor experience. That's what we're here for, to help and instruct on those pieces. But yeah, thanks for listening about G Outdoors. And if you have any questions, let us know, please.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are now heading over to the Center for Community Engagement.
Hello, everyone. I'm Trevor Iwata, and I'm the Marketing and Communications Coordinator for the Center for Community Engagement. Next, if you want to go to the next slide. So what we do is we try and connect you all to the community that you will be in for the next 4 or however many years you decide to be here at Gonzaga, and kind of get you connected with the community and our partners and the youth of Spokane. We provide a lot of programming, whether it be within your major or just interest that you want to serve in. We kind of house all of those partnerships there and try and get you connected in those. This photo is of our Catalyst program, which was launched last year, which is for middle to high school students. I believe it's just high school in this one, where they came over and they kind of experienced a college experience, here on Gonzaga and what we kind of offer here. If you want to go to the next slide, Alexa. So yeah, we have in-house 7 youth programs. They've been with us since probably I think 1995 or earlier. All those programs, we partner with the Spokane Public School System, and we would connect you through mentorship or group programming. So if any of you have an interest in that, we can definitely get you placed in that. We need about probably like over 100 volunteers usually, and we also have student leaders that run those programs, as well as AmeriCorps. And they run all the way from kindergarten to high school. And they could be either one-on-one mentoring, group mentoring, either through sports, academics, or learning disabilities as well. We have a program that also pairs students in high school, middle school with college students who also have learning disabilities, and you kind of get to mentor and work with each other that way. We also have fellowships here. We have 6 during the school year, which are Wolf Fellowships, and those you partner with community partners here. Sometimes it might be within your academic major, sometimes it might be in your interest field, and you work with them throughout the year and kind of expand bandwidth with them and kind of create a connection between them and the university and the community. We also have 10 summer fellowships. So if you decide to stay over the summer, these are called our Opportunity Northeast Fellowships, and they're through our Opportunity Northeast, which I'll get into later. It's a little bit more complicated, but there's 10 students and they all come here as a group, and we put them in placements, whether it be in food security or transitional places where from middle school to high school, you're helping students transition there, or helping students figure out where they want to go to after high school, whether it be college or trade school. And that happens all summer. And they also participate in the photo before, which was the Catalyst program, and they help us there. Those are all paid fellowships as well. So if that is of interest to you, I would certainly apply to those. We also have one-time service projects. We have a Gonzaga Days of Service, which we connect members of the Gonzaga community with Spokane area nonprofits through education and like half-day service experiences. And these are open to all students, staff, and faculty. And we also do community engaged learning. So some of you may have classes that might be classified as a CEL class, which basically means your faculty, your professor has decided that part of your education in that is going to be doing some sort of volunteering that coincides with the academics that they'll be teaching. So you'll be going through our center or finding a placement for yourself, and we would help you get connected with, whether your professor has a certain approved community service, or you just need to get 20 hours of community service. And so we would help you get placements with some of our programming or some of our partner programs. We also have ongoing service opportunities, which most of our service opportunities like youth programming, that is like semester a year, but these ones are year-long, and sometimes they're also just various times. So we have, those programs are our GU at SAR, which is we partner you with students with disabilities, and we help you form relationships through weekly sports activities. They also do like a play during the year, which is really great. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it this year, but we're hoping to do it next year, or hopefully this next semester. We also have the ZAG Volunteer Corps, which is a group of students who then participate in local nonprofits, and those change kind of every year. So it might be with House of Charity, or working with refugees, or doing some sort of food stability programs. And those are semester only programs. So if you might be interested in doing some sort of service just for a semester, that's a great way to get your toes into the community. We also have Campus Kitchens, which is one of my favorite programs. And that's a food security program where we have a kitchen here on campus, and we reclaim all of the unused food from the campus cafeteria, and we turn them into meals here on campus with student workers and cooks, essentially. And then we take them every day to different places and provide food to food insecure families or adults or kids, so that we make sure that food is not wasted and is brought to students or families here in the community. We also make sure that it's around a community point, so it might be like a neighborhood dinner, like our Logan neighborhood dinner, which happens at Logan Elementary, and that's a really great program. It's one of my favorite programs. We also have service immersions, which happen during winter break and spring break. Winter break, we take 3 groups of students down to the US-Mexico border and kind of look at the relationship between the US and the Mexican border and how that affects immigration and like social justice issues. And that's over winter break. We go to Tucson, Arizona, and Nogales, Arizona. We also go to San Diego, and we go to El Paso. And then the San Diego one is also, you go to San Diego and then you go to Tijuana. So you get to see both sides and talk to community partners. The other ones are during spring break, and those ones focus, those are driving sites. So this year we're going to Sisters, Oregon, Tacoma, Washington, Walla Walla, Washington, and Portland. And each one of those is focused around a certain social justice area. So our Portland one is about racial and environmental justice and how those come together and what that kind of looks like. Our Walla Walla service immersion is about food security. And so we'll be looking at like corporate farming versus independent or co-op farming, and seeing how a small community like Walla Walla works with food security, and also some immigration things as well. We also have a house. It's an intentional living community. It's called the Logan House, and it's right here on campus. And students can live in it. And the requirement of living there is you have to be part of the Logan Neighborhood Council, and you also have to be a part of one of our programs. And essentially, their job is to connect the community and the Gonzaga University and kind of break down the wall or bubble that we might have, and really get community input where it's needed, and also Gonzaga input as well, and kind of bridge those two communities and have that relationship. It was also talked about before was our pre-orientation program, which is Serve Northeast. This pre-orientation program specifically doesn't fall on the other pre-orientation programs. So if you want to go to Goob or the Mission Ministry one, you could also go to this one. It's the day after. And basically, when you get here, we spend a day with you. We show you the community, where you're going to be, who's here, who's living here, talk about, the ancestral land, like the Spokane Native ancestral lands that we're on. And then at the end of the day, we go and we do a service project. Groups will be split up into 6 or 7 groups, and they'll go and look at some of our community partners, whether it be working with refugees or food banks. We also have a Gonzaga Family Haven, which is an apartment complex for families who are recently homeless or houseless. We did a bunch of work cleaning furniture that was donated to bring to them. So we'll be getting a lot of different types of service. Lexi, you can go to the next slide. Last year we had over 1,300 student volunteer placements. That's not students total. Some people might hold 2 placements. So we do have a lot of volunteers. We have 2 offices, and we're located in the Hemmingson. We're located on the 2nd floor and in the basement. We also have 76 leadership positions. So if you're really interested in some of these areas, you can become a student leader in them. And total overall is about 26,000 hours of service that was put together by all of our volunteers and student leaders. Campus Kitchens, like I said, they've served almost 11,000 meals in the past year. And then all of our service opportunities are less than 2 hours a week. And we have them very flexible. If you want to get involved but don't know where, feel free to come into our office, bring your schedule and say what you're interested in. We can definitely find you a place. You also don't need your car. We provide you transportation. We also give you the training and mentorship and conflict resolution that you might encounter with youth programming. And also if you come and say, hey, I'm a business major, I'm an engineering major, I'm a nursing or education, we can find you placement within your major or field of interest as well. And yeah, that's us. Come on in and say hi to us, and yeah, we'll get you involved.
Awesome, thank you. And before we hand it over to our next office, we have our next prize winners.
It's prize time again, Zags. So for our next round, again, we do have the exact same prizes as before, the pop socket, the mini pennant, and the socks. First one's going to Jack O'Brien. The second one, also again, pop socket, mini pennant, socks, Alan Rieger. So Jack O'Brien and Alan Rieger, congratulations, it's your big day. Feel free to shoot us a message and we'll get you, get those things in the mail to you soon.
Awesome. Congratulations to our winners. Again, we were giving prizes throughout the night, so stay posted. And we are now handing it over to the Center for Cura Personalis.
Thank you, Alexa. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Sean Joy, he, him, his. I am the director of the Center for Cura Personalis here at Gonzaga. So Alexa, if you go to the next slide. So who we are is CCP for short. So Cura Personalis loosely translates to care for the whole person, and it is very much a part of the tenets of the Jesuits as well as Jesuit education. And so what we do is, in a nutshell, is we are not counselors or therapists, but more like connectors. So we work with our students to figure out different stressors, barriers, things that are going on, you know, conversations you're having with roommates, trying to navigate, right, this new environment. And we accompany you through your journey here at Gonzaga and work with you to figure out ways we can get you connected to make you feel like, right, we're looking at all aspects, all areas of your life, making sure you feel connected and empowered, and then are able, right, to make those decisions as you move through your time, if you choose to come to Gonzaga, through your time here. And we navigate, we help connect you to resources both on and off campus, and support you throughout your journey. Yeah, so that's what we do in a nutshell. Next slide, please. So again, lots and lots of things. So I like to say we're like Mary Poppins' bag, if that's a reference that anyone enjoys. We do a lot and we can support you with anything. And so if, right, you're here at GU, you're here in Spokane and you're struggling with something, or you're stressed about something, or there's a question on your mind and you don't know where to start, we're a great space to connect with and to chat with, and we can always figure out where to connect you. And a lot of our great colleagues are here that we connect students with every day. So there's a lot of pieces, right? And we know that you bring a lot of different identities and things and lived experiences, and things are important to you, things that have made you who you are. And our goal is to help you thrive with those pieces and help support you through all of, what life and college has to bring us as experiences. And so another thing too, I want to mention briefly is our refer form, which is really important. And that's a process we have here at GU, a way to inform our office if you are struggling, if your friend is struggling, right? A lot of times our families and our parents will submit these for our students, and we'll reach out to students and say, hey, I heard something's going on. We're just here. You're not in trouble. We're here to support you. How about you come on up? We have a fish tank, which is pretty cool. And come and see us, and we'll figure out what the next path is and to get you connected. Next slide, Alexa. Oh, that was on my slide. So there we are, brief, short to the point. But essentially our office, as you transition, if you transition as a ZAG, you will find that there are so many caring folks here, staff, faculty, fellow students, alum, and our role is to help with a lot of those connections and making sure about Nicola's office, and about Matt's office, and about all these awesome people and the things that they're doing, and making sure you feel a part of. And right, we say we want you to be a ZAG, but being a ZAG is different for everyone. and we want to celebrate that in different ways. And we know that comes with different challenges. And so that's what our office is here for. So excited to be here and excited that you all are here and that some of you are getting prizes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sean. We are now transitioning to mission and ministry.
Hello, everybody. It's lovely to be here. And boy, all these presenters are some of my favorite people. My name is Janine Steer. I am a senior coordinator in the Office of Mission and Ministry. Been here about 11 years, and I happen to also be a Presbyterian minister. So sometimes I'm known as Reverend Janine Steer, but not very often. And then I'll introduce my friend, Ethan.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I am a current junior here at Gonzaga University. I am one of the student ministers in the Mission and Ministry office, and I've kind of been involved in various activities for Mission and Ministry since my freshman year. So yeah.
So Alexa, if you don't mind, thank you. Awesome. So we have 3 kind of words that are our themes that we have a lot that we, our vision and program around, which is together and engage and become. So we're going to talk a little bit about this idea of together. Our main goal is to foster faith and spiritual community. That is kind of our office. We're mission and ministry. And we believe that all of you have a spiritual side. You may not have a religious side, totally okay. We believe that there's something in you that deeply desires the more. And so we are here to help you with that. So Ethan's going to tell you a little bit about our togetherness.
Yeah, so to foster faith and spirituality on campus, we have a numerous amount of programs available to students. One of our popular ones is our CLCs. They are sort of a small group on campus where students can get together either in co-eds or in male-only or female-only groups across multiple denominations, just to talk about life, talk about faith, spirituality, kind of whatever topics the CLC determines they need to kind of talk about, I want to explore together. Another popular one is our retreats. As mentioned earlier, Embark is our pre-orientation retreat. I personally went on Embark my freshman year, and I led Embark this past summer. And it's a great experience. It's a great way just to get to meet new people, get your community started here at Gonzaga, while also diving a little deeper into your faith or spirituality. And it's a great way just to get started. And we have many other retreats throughout the school year open for all students to come and participate in, and they're a great time. I've personally been on a lot of them myself, and I have always enjoyed my time there. We also have Mass every Sunday at 5 p.m. This is our student Mass. It's run mainly by students with some help from other pro staff members and the Jesuits on campus. We also have Soul Night every Tuesday, which is kind of like a social night, multi-denominational sort of worship night, just to come talk about different topics and just be in community with with everyone around you, and it's a great time. And then on Thursdays, we have what's known as Thirst, which is also a multi-denominational worship night. It is completely student run. They come and sing songs. It's really fun. It's very laid back, very chill, and it's just a time to kind of decompress from the week. We also have light nights offered on Thursday as well. That is adoration in our student chapel in College Hall. That's offered every Thursday for an hour. We normally have reconciliation as well. That is offered there from multiple of the Jesuits on campus. And then finally, we also have Delight, which is a all-women small group that meets every Monday. Obviously, I've not been there, but I hear it's a really great time, and I highly recommend it.
And we also have a thing called Guys and Grounds, which is like a morning where guys get together and have donuts and coffee and check in. We have lots of fun ways to foster community. We have 2 houses on campus loaded with snacks, and that's where a lot of people meet. And then particularly for you lovely humans, we have a freshman getaway. It's called Escape, and it's 24 hours. It's not religious. It's kind of just a way to meet all the other freshmen, all the other first year students on campus. And we hold 6 of those during the year. So would love to see you on those. They're fun. We take you out to the mansion that we have. Gonzaga has this mansion for most of our retreats. And it's a fun way as a first year student to jump in. So the next slide we have for you is another theme that we have, which is engage. And under engage, our hope is not only to make you feel like you're seen and known and valued and loved, but then we want to engage you in who you are and what's next for you. So we do that through like spiritual care and pastoral care. And then we also do that with service and action.
Yeah, so everyone in the ministry office, all the pro staff, they are all lovely people. They're super welcoming. I've never felt like uncomfortable in that space. They really just want to get to know you. I have met with Janine personally multiple times in my 3 years of being here, just talking about life, relationship, drama, whatever it is. I meet with Daniel Dank in the ministry office almost on a weekly basis, just discussing life and decompressing. And they're really there just to help you not just explore your faith and your spirituality, but just to explore life. If you're dealing with stress, if there's something in your mind you don't really know who to talk to, they are more than happy to meet with you and to talk with you about whatever is on your mind, whatever is on your heart, and just they want to be there for you. Also, as Janine said, we do a lot of service projects. A popular one is Meals in the Margins. That is where a group of students comes together and they prepare hot meals for those experiencing houselessness around Spokane, and they hand them to them and have a discussion with them, really get to know their story. I know Janine bakes cookies with groups of students for those experiencing homelessness as well. And our CLCs, as mentioned earlier, they also do service projects. They do 2 a semester. It's a great way just to kind of get out there, do a little bit of service. A lot of time they'll collaborate with CCE, the Center for Community Engagement. And yeah, it's a great time just to kind of explore and get off campus and really know the community and the environment that we're living in.
So our first one was Together, second was Engaged, last one is Become. And our hope is that we can help form reflective and discerning leaders. Now, this picture, it's not me in my silly Christmas outfit that I want you to see, but it's the person next to me. Her name is Rachel Bowen. She graduated 2 years ago from Gonzaga. She came in as a first-year student, not totally sure if she wanted to engage in her faith and her spirituality, ended up kind of deciding that in and out all of 4 years. But she became a leader in our office and led retreats. She was a student minister, which is what Ethan is. We have a program where you can be a student minister and live in a resident hall and just hang out and walk with students. But I'm talking about Rachel now because within her academic experience and then with her lived experience in ministry, she decided to stay in Spokane, and she is now a case manager at one of the Catholic charity havens, which is formerly homeless folks that get to live in an apartment and do life and live life and kind of grow towards healing. And Rachel is their case manager, and she looks like she's 19, she's 25, and she is a force, a lovely force with all these formerly homeless people that are still struggling maybe with drugs and co-occurring disorders like mental illness, and she rocks it. And a lot of who Rachel is, she attributes to the leadership she learned at Gonzaga, and we were able to hang out with her for 4 years. And now Ethan's going to share a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so getting involved in the mission and ministry office is a great way to build leadership experience. One way we do that is through Praxis, which is a monthly workshop for all the different leaders involved in the ministry office. It can be CLC leaders, it can be student employees, student ministers. Any way you are involved in some sort of leadership position in mission and ministry, it is offered for you just to kind of develop those skills a bit. Also, you can be a retreat leader. You can help lead a small group. You can kind of have a more kind of background sort of role, kind of planning and developing it. That's really fun. I have done both a bit, and it's a great way just to kind of learn how to organize and how to generate a plan and work as a team. As I mentioned earlier, CLC leaders, you then again develop that experience and skill of leading a small group and how to have open and honest communications, how to be genuine with one another, and how to have these meaningful discussions about life and different topics that can be kind of tricky and hard to navigate at times. And it's a great way to kind of help you learn how to have those conversations and really develop that skill. Another one is student ministry. My role right now, what we are is we kind of work alongside the RAs in first year residence halls. And we're a bit different from an RA. One, we work for the mission and ministry office kind of through the housing department in a way. Also, we're not here to like enforce policy or anything like that. We are purely here just to walk alongside the first year students as they go throughout their freshman year of college. We know it can be a pretty tricky time to kind of manage life and school and everything like that. So we just want to be another resource for them that they can come to, who they can talk to if they're feeling lonely, stressed, don't know what to do. If they just want someone to talk to and get coffee with or go get a meal with, we're here to do that as well. We serve many roles, but mainly we just want to be a support system for them and really get to know them and walk alongside them and just be with them. There's many avenues through the ministry office where you can really develop those leadership skills.
And that's all we have. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, we are up for another round of prizes. This is our second to last round of prizes. I'm going to hand it over to one of my colleagues in admission to tell us who the lucky winners are.
Alrighty, y'all. The lucky winners are Alex Clar and Lily Donis. And again, we have pop sockets, mini pennants, and socks.
Awesome. Congratulations. And now I'm going to hand it over to our colleagues in the Center for Global Engagement.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Ashley Davis. I'm the Director of International Student and Scholar Services at ISSS. That's how we call it. ISSS is one of the two houses that fall under Center for Global Engagement. So the other side of the house that you will learn tonight is the study abroad. So international ISSS primarily supports. I'm super sorry about that. I'm so sorry about the Zoom bomb, and we are working on a solution right now. So all right. Sorry about that. So ISSS primarily supports international students and scholars who are F or J visa holders. At this time, Gonzaga has 168 international students enrolled, representing 48 countries. Next slide, please. ISSS strives to create a home away from home for international students and scholars. We offer almost a week-long orientation. That is where we help international students navigate and understand complex immigration regulations, and we help them with the cultural acculturation as well as the connection with the campus partners and wonderful colleagues and communities, as you have seen tonight. So, but really, when it comes to community building, we focus on events and activity. We do it very intentionally. Our program and activities have 5 categories, which include a community service, connection with the Spokane community, with the Gonzaga's community, as well as celebrating international cultures and success. Again, we do it very intentionally so that international students are not siloed. We want to make sure that they're integrated with our campus and with you all, and which is why you will see a lot of our activities are collaborations with the other colleagues. There are a lot of activities that are community focused as well. So that is open for everybody. For example, this week is actually International Education Week. We're learning about cultures from Japan, the Philippines, Ecuador, Ethiopia. Usually there will be fun activities and food, of course. We promote these events through our Gonzaga's morning mail, and you will see them all around the campus. So you won't miss them if you want to come stop by and get connected. There are also opportunities for you all to be connected with the international students, sort of one-on-one. For example, we have a Gonzaga Global Conversation Program where you can just come informally, you drink some tea and coffee and just have a nice conversation with the international students. We're also building on a mentor or buddy sort of a program, and that is just so make it a little bit more formal if you want to learn about an international student, their culture, and help them with their adjustment to the US. Really, we at Triple like many other colleagues, we are the sort of the first point of contact for international students and scholars, and we are the connector as well for situations that other colleagues are better experts. That is, in those cases, we will connect the students with our colleagues. Yeah, so stop by in the Hemmingson, we're in the Hemmingson Center, and we do have a newsletter too for whoever wants to get a regular updates from us. So we would love to have you stay connected with us. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome, thank you. And handing it over to the next branch of our Center for Global Engagement.
Thank you, Alexa. I am Alicia Lombardi. I am the director of the Study Abroad office with Ashley in the Center for Global Engagement. So 63% of ZAG study abroad sometime when they're at Gonzaga for the 4 or 5 years. So I like to say that even if you're not really thinking about study abroad right now, it's not on your radar, it's pretty likely that you will make friends, maybe have a roommate, a hallmate that is really thinking about it. And so you might be inclined to consider it as well. So some basics to studying abroad with Gonzaga is that a minimum GPA of 2.5 is required. Some programs may have a higher GPA requirement depending on the program. Most range from that 2.5 to a 3.0 minimum. You do have to have clearance from the Resolution Center as well, meaning that you cannot be on probation once the application period starts through the time that your program would start. So your conduct record does have to be cleared. We also require students to complete their freshman year. We want you to get some footing. We want you to find your community and get connected. We know that the first year can be quite overwhelming. So to add responsibilities and planning around study abroad, we want you to get that footing and go through that process a little later. So we do require you to complete your first 2 semesters. For transfer students, it is a little different, given that we can understand that you may not have the full number of semesters that a first-year student may have. So we work with all of our transfer students to identify programs that are the best fit, considering that many transfer students come in with credits. They have really specific course needs much sooner in their degree progress. But as a transfer student, you can definitely try to incorporate a study abroad semester. For studying abroad with Gonzaga, you do receive Gonzaga credit that's posted to your transcript. So it's not considered transfer credit. It's going to appear as if you took a Gonzaga class. So that means that the classes that you take abroad, whether that's in Florence or at our program in Spain or a program in Zambia, the credits are going to be Gonzaga credits factoring into your GPA. And then we utilize a billing model that is standardized so that you pay the Gonzaga tuition rate for the program that you're going on. And then you can additionally utilize your Gonzaga financial aid package towards the billable program fees for the semester. For the summer programs, it's slightly different. Students typically only qualify for using federal or state aid during the summer. But for the semester, all of your institutional award package would be able to be applied to those program fees. And the semester is when traditionally the most of our students are studying abroad. You can go to the next slide. So our most popular program that we send the most students to every semester is our longest standing program, our Gonzaga in Florence campus, which began in 1963, which is 58 years ago. We have programs that are offered during each semester, the summer, and students can study for a full academic year. So there's lots of options to appeal to any type of major. So certain majors may be required to go study abroad, not specifically at Florence, but generally during a certain semester. But the Florence program is open to any major. We do offer a variety of core courses. There is a business track, an engineering track, and an Italian studies focus. So for our business and engineering students, the classes that are offered in Florence are aligned directly with the degree program for each school. Gonzaga in Florence offers cultural immersion activities, community engagement activities, and school travel programs. So trips to Poland and Rome. English for Pasta is one of the weekly events that students are able to participate in, where they visit an Italian family who serves them dinner, and they may spend the rest of the evening teaching English to some school-aged kids, or they learn more about Italian language and culture from the family. Next slide. And so a little bit of resources and update surrounding the pandemic. So we did resume study abroad programs at Gonzaga in the summer of 2021 to Florence. We currently have students abroad right now, and we're continuing with our programming for spring 2022. Not all programs have resumed due to the pandemic. But we do have more than 70 programs in over 50 different locations for students to choose from. Our website link has really valuable resources listing our program types. We also have academic guides. So if you are interested in a specific major, you can look at specific programs that other ZAGs have participated on, how those credits work, what programs may be great for core curriculum requirements. Our office is really here to help guide any student from the beginning of the process of just being interested in learning more about study abroad opportunities, all the way through the application process, preparing to go abroad. So if that's helping you get a passport, assistance with a visa you may need, helping with your courses, figuring out your housing for wherever you're studying. And we also provide support once you're actually abroad. So even though you're not on campus, our office is still supporting you. And then we support you as well once you return back to campus and reintegrate back into the community after being gone for a semester or more. So I think that is it for me.
Awesome, thank you. And last but certainly not least, we are going to hear from Housing and Residence Life.
Hi, Prospective ZAGs, Jared Payne here, Assistant Director. So glad to be with you tonight. Next slide. We have our Housing and Residence Life team who lives on campus with the excellent students that we get to be among in our community. These are grad level or graduated bachelor or master's level staff professionals. And we also have our main office who is here to support you all the way from housing application through your 2-year live-on requirement here with us at Gonzaga. Next slide. We also have the benefit of having an amazing student staff who live with our students. It's about a 1:40 ratio of resident assistant to student. They're there intentionally to build community, help individuals meet with other residents. They deal with roommate conflict and doing some mediation, and they uphold university policy and safety and security of our residence hall areas. You also have the benefit of working with our student ministers and social justice peer educators who also live in our residence halls and give the added holistic benefit of engagement with our students in our residence halls. Next slide. We connect students to their new home. So Gonzaga should feel like your home away from your home. And we want you to feel connected to the community. We want you to learn how to be the best Zags you can be. We have intentional programming based off of missional engagement, academic success, interculturality, Ignatian spirituality, a sense of belonging and personal growth. So we have a holistic lens towards engaging you and your development while you live with us in community. And of course, with us being a Jesuit institution, we want to affirm the Jesuit identity of Gonzaga University by having that missional existence and focusing on Ignatian spirituality and social justice. So hence why we have some of those specialty roles that get to live with the students. Next slide. A great opportunity that I highly recommend you all evaluate as you consider Gonzaga is applying for one of our excellent living learning communities. It is a co-curricular housing experience. All of the items are listed there. Cura Personalis, it's a holistic approach to your well-being and existence at Gonzaga. You got a fan favorite of engineering, computer science, global citizenship, learns to lead, outdoors pursuits, people formed with others, and pre-health. We also have an honors LLC that is pre-selected by honors. And then just a heads up, as you could continue on in your existence at Gonzaga, our second year LLCs are in development, and that's going to likely be business, nursing, transfer student LLC, and learning or leading lived. So a second year learns to lead type of engagement. So everything you need for 2 years of engagement. So highly encourage you to apply. Next slide. And speaking of applying, our housing application is available for all students once you are admitted to Gonzaga. So the priority deadline for those LLCs I just mentioned is April 1st. And the application deadline for both the LLC, the Living Learning Communities, and our housing application is May 1st. I highly recommend getting your application in as soon as possible, because that increases your time frame of housing selection for when that is open up to you. It is not a binding application for housing. If you choose not to come to Gonzaga, you're not bound to our living experience. And please check out Instagram for future information at Gonzaga Housing. It was highly recommended by our social media guru who over here in our department to highlight Instagram at Gonzaga Housing for more information. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much to all of our presenters. We are going to end. We do have a couple more prizes, but before we get to that, I would like to call on 3 of our presenters, whoever wants to take them, on their final tip for finding community at Gonzaga. What is the last tip or the top tip you give to students as they are embarking on their journey of finding community? Whoever wants to grab it. I don't want to have to cold call. But I will if I have to.
I can offer some advice.
Perfect. Thank you, Ethan.
Yeah. One tip I have is your first year, leave your door open a bit. You don't have to leave like completely open, but just like a little creak so people know you're there. It's a great way just to kind of get to know the other people that are living around you. Just ask people to dinner. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. This community is very welcoming and you have a great support system from everyone that just spoke here. And yeah, we have a great first year.
Awesome. 2 more folks who would like to have their final tip. Maybe I'm going to pull on our other student, Nate.
Sorry about that. Could you repeat the question there?
Yeah, just any final tip for how to find community for these students once they get to Gonzaga.
I would say pretty similar to what Ethan said, is just most people here are pretty nice. So whether it's leaving your door open in your dorm or just talking to someone in the first few days of class, even if you're like, I have no idea who this person is, I don't know if they're a freshman either, chances are they're a nice person and they want to talk to you too. So that's a great way to just, once you meet one person here, then you meet their friends, and then it just goes on from there. So
awesome. And then I think I saw Sean turn on his camera. If he wants to put in his final tip.
Yes. Thank you, Alexa. I would say, right, now's not too soon to start talking about and thinking about what your well-being, overall well-being looks like, and what it means to ask for support, especially around your mental health, right? What that looks like from your family, from your friends. What do you need when you're struggling? How do you communicate that you're struggling? It's not too early to start thinking about that. So when you transition to Gonzaga or wherever you choose to go, you have some of those tips and those skills and that communication with your support units. So you've practiced those. You know how to walk into an office like ours and say, I need support, I'm struggling. So that would be a huge tip that I would give.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And of course, stay connected. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Thank you to our panelists for taking time out of their night to share how Gonzaga supports their students throughout their journey at GU. We would love to stay connected with you. We are offering virtual visits. You can find out those opportunities on our website, but we are also open for in-person visits with capacity limits. So definitely check out our website and see when we have room to welcome you on our campus. I would also like to encourage all of our prospective students to get ZME. That is an app that you can download on your phone, get connected with each other, as well as some of our current students. And thank you again for joining us. I'm gonna end tonight with my colleagues in admission for our final prize winners.
All righty. Last but certainly not least, we have our last two prize winners. The first one being Colin Palmer and Hannah, and I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, Friend. So Colin Palmer and Hannah F. I'm going to go with that because I don't think I'm saying your name properly and I don't want to say it incorrectly, but you are the big prize winners. Please feel free to let us know what you want as a thank you, Priya, as your prize, and we'll get that to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, everyone, for joining us. We're going to hang on for a minute or two to make sure all of our prize winners get connected with Eli and Priya in the chat as to which prize they'd like. Remember, that's a pop socket, a mini pennant, or some Zag socks. To all of our panelists, thank you again for joining us and sharing all of your resources. And to all of our students and family members that might be joining, I hope you all have a great night. Remember, Gonzaga's application deadline is December 1st. Reach out to the admission office with any questions or concerns. We are always happy to answer all of your questions, whether that's about financial aid or admission or getting you connected to the awesome resources we have, like the ones you heard tonight. So again, thank you all so much. I hope you are all staying safe. Have a happy holidays and go Zags.